मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, नमस्कार। देश और विदेश में रहने वाले हम भारत के लोग उत्साह के साथ गणतंत्र दिवस का उत्सव मनाने जा रहे हैं। मैं आप सभी को गणतंत्र दिवस के राष्ट्रीय पर्व की हार्दिक बधाई देती हूँ। गणतंत्र दिवस का पावन पर्व हमारे अतीत, वर्तमान और भविष्य में देश की दशा और दिशा का अवलोकन करने का अवसर होता है। स्वाधीनता संग्राम के बल पर 15 अगस्त 1947 के दिन से हमारे देश की दशा बदली। भारत स्वाधीन हुआ। हम अपनी राष्ट्रीय नियति की निर्माता बने। 26 जनवरी 1950 के दिन से हम अपने गणतंत्र को संवैधानिक आदर्श के दिशा में आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। उसी दिन हमने अपने संविधान को पूरी तरह से लागू किया। लोकतंत्र की जननी भारत भूमि उपनिवेश के विधि विधान से मुक्त हुई और हमारा लोकतंत्रात्मक गणराज्य अस्तित्व में आया। हमारा संविधान विश्व इतिहास में आज तक के सबसे बड़े गणराज्यों का आधार ग्रंथ है। हमारे संविधान में निहित न्याय, स्वतंत्रता, समता और बंधुत्व के आदर्श हमारे गणतंत्र को परिभाषित करते हैं। संविधान निर्माताओं ने राष्ट्रीयता की भावना तथा देश की एकता को संवैधानिक प्रावधानों का सुदृढ़ आधार प्रदान किया है। लौह पुरुष सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल ने हमारे राष्ट्र का एकीकरण किया। पिछले वर्ष 31 अक्टूबर को कृतज्ञ देशवासियों ने उत्साहपूर्वक उनकी 150वीं जयंती मनाई। उनकी 150वीं जयंती के पावन अवसर से जुड़े स्मरण उत्सव मनाए जा रहे हैं। ये उत्सव देशवासियों में राष्ट्रीय एकता तथा गौरव की भावना को मजबूत बनाते हैं। उत्तर से लेकर दक्षिण तक तथा पूर्व से लेकर पश्चिम तक हमारी प्राचीन सांस्कृतिक एकता का ताना बाना हमारे पूर्वजों ने बुना था। राष्ट्रीय एकता के स्वरूपों को जीवंत बनाए रखने का प्रत्येक प्रयास अत्यंत सराहनीय है। पिछले वर्ष 7 नवंबर से हमारे राष्ट्रीय गीत वंदे मातरम की रचना के 150 वर्ष संपन्न होने के उत्सव भी मनाया जा रहा है। भारत माता के दैवी स्वरूप की वंदना का ये गीत जनमन में राष्ट्र प्रेम का संचार करता है। राष्ट्रीयता के महाकवि सुब्रमण्य भारती ने तमिल भाषा में वंदे मातरम येनवम अर्थात हम वंदे मातरम बोले इस गीत की रचना करके वंदे मातरम की भावना को और भी व्यापक स्तर पर जनमानस के साथ जोड़ा। अन्य भारतीय भाषाओं में भी इस गीत के अनुवाद लोकप्रिय हुए। श्री अरविंदो ने वंदे मातरम का अंग्रेजी अनुवाद किया। ऋषितुल्य बंकिम चंद्र चट्टोपाध्याय द्वारा रचित वंदे मातरम हमारे राष्ट्र वंदना का स्वर है। आज से 2 दिन पहले यानी 23 जनवरी को देशवासियों ने नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस की जयंती के दिन उन्हें सादर श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित की। वर्ष 2021 से नेताजी की जयंती को पराक्रम दिवस के रूप में मनाया जाता है ताकि देशवासी विशेषकर युवा उनकी अदम्य देशभक्ति से प्रेरणा प्राप्त करें। नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस का नारा जय हिंद हमारे राष्ट्र गौरव का उद्घोष है। प्यारे देशवासियों, आप सब हमारे जीवंत गणतंत्र को शक्तिशाली बना रहे हैं। हमारी तीनों सेनाओं के बहादुर जवान मातृभूमि की रक्षा के लिए सदैव सतर्क रहते हैं। हमारे कर्तव्यनिष्ठ पुलिसकर्मी तथा केंद्रीय सशस्त्र पुलिस बलों के जवान देशवासियों की आंतरिक सुरक्षा के लिए तत्पर रहते हैं। हमारे अन्नदाता किसान देशवासियों के लिए पोषण सामग्री उत्पन्न करते हैं। हमारे देश की कर्मठ और प्रतिभाशाली महिलाएं अनेक क्षेत्रों में नई प्रतिमान स्थापित कर रहे हैं। हमारे सेवाधर्मी डॉक्टर, नर्स और सभी स्वास्थ्यकर्मी देशवासियों के स्वास्थ्य की देखभाल करते हैं। हमारे निष्ठावान सफाई मित्र देश को स्वच्छ रखने में प्रमुख भूमिका निभाते हैं। हमारे प्रबुद्ध शिक्षक भावी पीढ़ियों का निर्माण करते हैं। हमारे विश्व स्तरीय वैज्ञानिक और इंजीनियर देश के विकास को नई दिशाएं देते हैं। हमारे मेहनती श्रमिक भाई बहन राष्ट्र का नवनिर्माण करते हैं। हमारे होनहार युवा और बच्चे अपनी प्रतिभा और योगदान से देश के स्वर्णिम भविष्य के प्रति हमारा विश्वास मजबूत करते हैं। हमारे प्रतिभाशाली कलाकार, शिल्पकार और साहित्यकार हमारी समृद्ध परंपराओं को आधुनिक अभिव्यक्ति दे रहे हैं। अनेक क्षेत्र के विशेषज्ञ देश के बहुआयामी विकास को दिशा दे रहे हैं। हमारे ऊर्जावान उद्यमी देश को विकसित और आत्मनिर्भर बनाने में अपना योगदान दे रहे हैं। निस्वार्थ भाव से समाज की सेवा करने वाले व्यक्ति और संस्थान अनगिनत लोगों के जीवन में प्रकाश का संचार कर रहे हैं। सरकारी तथा गैर सरकारी कार्यालयों एवं संस्थानों में काम करने वाले सभी कर्तव्यपरायण लोग राष्ट्र निर्माण में अपनी सेवाएं समर्पित कर रहे हैं। जन सेवा के लिए प्रतिबद्ध जनप्रतिनिधि देशवासियों की आकांक्षाओं के अनुरूप कल्याण एवं विकास के लक्ष्यों को प्राप्त कर रहे हैं। इस प्रकार सभी जागरूक एवं संवेदनशील नागरिक हमारे गणतंत्र की प्रगति यात्रा को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। हमारे गणतंत्र को सशक्त बनाने के प्रयासों में कार्यरत सभी देशवासियों की मैं हृदय से सराहना करती हूँ। प्रवासी भारतीयों हमारे गणतंत्र की छवि को विश्व पटल पर गौरव प्रदान करते हैं। मैं उनकी विशेष सराहना करती हूँ। प्यारे देशवासियों, आज के दिन यानी 25 जनवरी को हमारे देश में राष्ट्रीय मतदाता दिवस मनाया जाता है। जनप्रतिनिधियों के निर्वाचन के लिए हमारे वयस्क नागरिक उत्साहपूर्वक मतदान करते हैं। बाबा साहेब डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर मानते थे कि मताधिकार के प्रयोग से राजनैतिक शिक्षा सुनिश्चित होती है। हमारे मतदाता बाबा साहेब की सोच के अनुरूप अपनी राजनैतिक जागरूकता का परिचय दे रहे हैं। मतदान में महिलाओं की बढ़ती हुई भागीदारी हमारे गणतंत्र का एक शक्तिशाली आयाम है। महिलाओं का सक्रिय और समर्थ होना देश के विकास के लिए अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है। उनके स्वास्थ्य, शिक्षा, सुरक्षा और आर्थिक सशक्तिकरण हेतु किए जा रहे राष्ट्रीय प्रयासों से अनेक क्षेत्रों में महिलाओं की भागीदारी बढ़ी है। बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ अभियान से बेटियों की शिक्षा को प्रोत्साहन मिला है। प्रधानमंत्री जन धन योजना के तहत अब तक 57 करोड़ से अधिक बैंक खाते खोले जा चुके हैं। इनमें महिलाओं के खाते लगभग 56% है। हमारी बहनें और बेटियां परंपरागत रूढ़ियों को तोड़कर आगे बढ़ रही हैं। महिलाएं देश के समग्र विकास में सक्रिय योगदान दे रही है। 10 करोड़ से अधिक सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप से जुड़े बहनें विकास की नई परिभाषा लिख रही हैं। महिलाएं खेत खलिहानों से लेकर अंतरिक्ष तक, स्वरोजगार से लेकर सेनाओं तक अपनी प्रभावी पहचान बना रहे हैं। खेल कूद के क्षेत्र में हमारी बेटियों ने विश्व स्तर पर नए प्रतिमान स्थापित किए हैं। पिछले वर्ष नवंबर में भारत की बेटियों ने आईसीसी वुमेन्स क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप और उसके बाद ब्लाइंड वुमेन्स T20 वर्ल्ड कप जीतकर स्वर्णिम इतिहास रचा है। पिछले ही वर्ष चेस वर्ल्ड कप का फाइनल मैच भारत की ही 2 बेटियों के बीच खेला गया। ये उदाहरण खेल जगत में हमारी बेटियों के वर्चस्व का प्रमाण है। ऐसी बेटियों पर देशवासियों को गर्व है। पंचायती राज संस्थाओं में महिला जन प्रतिनिधियों की संख्या लगभग 40% है। महिलाओं के राजनैतिक सशक्तिकरण को नई ऊंचाई देने वाले नारी शक्ति बंधन अधिनियम से महिलाओं के नेतृत्व द्वारा विकास की सोच को अभूतपूर्व शक्ति मिलेगी। विकसित भारत के निर्माण में नारी शक्ति की भूमिका महत्वपूर्ण रहेगी। उनके बढ़ते हुए योगदान से हमारा देश महिला पुरुष समानता पर आधारित समावेशी गणतंत्र का उदाहरण प्रस्तुत करेगा। समावेशी सोच के साथ वंचित वर्गों के कल्याण और विकास के लिए अनेक योजनाओं को कार्यरूप दिया जा रहा है। पिछले वर्ष 15 नवंबर को देशवासियों ने धरती आबा भगवान बिरसा मुंडा की जयंती के दिन 5वां जनजातीय गौरव दिवस मनाया तथा भगवान बिरसा मुंडा की 150वीं जयंती के उपलक्ष्य में मनाए गए उत्सव संपन्न हुए। आदि कर्मयोगी अभियान के माध्यम से जनजातीय समुदाय के लोगों में नेतृत्व क्षमता को निखारा गया। विगत वर्षों में सरकार ने जनजातीय समाज के गौरवशाली इतिहास से देशवासियों का परिचय कराने के लिए संग्रहालय के निर्माण सहित अनेक कदम उठाए। उनके कल्याण और विकास को प्राथमिकता दी गई है। राष्ट्रीय सिकल सेल एनीमिया उन्मूलन मिशन के तहत अब तक 6 करोड़ से अधिक स्क्रीनिंग की जा चुकी है। एकलव्य मॉडल रेसिडेंशियल स्कूलों में लगभग 1,40,000 विद्यार्थी शिक्षा प्राप्त कर रहे हैं तथा अनेक विद्यार्थी ने प्रतियोगी परीक्षाओं में उत्कृष्ट प्रदर्शन किया है। स्वास्थ्य और शिक्षा के ऐसे अभियान जनजातीय समुदाय की विरासत और विकास का समन्वय कर रहे हैं। धत्या व जनजातीय ग्राम उत्कर्ष अभियान तथा पीएम जनमन योजना के द्वारा पीपीटीजी समुदाय सहित सभी जनजातीय समुदाय का सशक्तिकरण हुआ है। हमारे अन्नदाता किसान हमारे समाज के तथा अर्थव्यवस्था के मेरुदंड है। किसानों के परिश्रमी पीढ़ियों ने हमारे देश को खाद्यान्नों में आत्मनिर्भर बनाया है। किसानों के परिश्रम के बल पर ही हम कृषि आधारित उत्पादों का निर्यात कर पा रहे हैं। अनेक किसानों में सफलता के अत्यंत प्रभावशाली उदाहरण प्रस्तुत किए हैं। किसान भाई बहनों को अपने उत्पादों का उचित मूल्य मिले, रियायती ब्याज पर ऋण मिले, प्रभावी बीमा सुरक्षा मिले, खेती के लिए अच्छे बीज मिले, सिंचाई की सुविधाएं मिले, अधिक उत्पादन के लिए उर्वरक उपलब्ध हो, उन्हें आधुनिक कृषि पद्धतियों से जोड़ा जाए तथा जैविक खेती को बढ़ावा दिया जाए। इन सभी विषयों को प्राथमिकता दी जा रही है। पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि के द्वारा किसान भाई बहनों के योगदान को आदर दिया जा रहा है तथा उनके प्रयासों को संबल प्रदान किया जा रहा है। दशकों से गरीबी के साथ जूझ रहे करोड़ों देशवासियों को गरीबी की सीमा रेखा से ऊपर लाया गया है। साथ ही ऐसे प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं कि वे पुनः गरीबी से पीड़ित ना होने पाए। अंत्योदय की संवेदना को कार्य रूप देने वाले विश्व की सबसे बड़ी योजना पीएम गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना इस सोच पर आधारित है कि 140 करोड़ से अधिक आबादी वाले हमारे देश में कोई भी भूखा ना रहे। इस योजना से लगभग 81 करोड़ लाभार्थियों को सहायता मिल रही है। गरीब परिवारों के लिए बिजली, पानी तथा शौचालय की सुविधा से युक्त 4 करोड़ से अधिक पक्के घरों का निर्माण करके उन्हें गरिमापूर्ण जीवन जीने तथा आगे बढ़ने का आधार प्रदान किया गया है। गरीबों के कल्याण के हित में किए गए ऐसे प्रयास महात्मा गांधी के सर्वोदय के आदर्श को कार्य रूप देते हैं। विश्व की सबसे बड़ी युवा आबादी हमारे देश में है। गर्व की बात है कि हमारे युवाओं में असीम प्रतिभा है। हमारे युवा उद्यमी, खिलाड़ी, वैज्ञानिक और प्रोफेशनल्स देश में नई ऊर्जा का संचार कर रहे हैं तथा विश्व स्तर पर अपनी पहचान बना रहे हैं। आज बड़ी संख्या में हमारे युवा स्वरोजगार की सफलता के प्रभावशाली उदाहरण प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं। हमारे युवा ही हमारे राष्ट्र की विकास यात्रा के ध्वजवाहक है। मेरा युवा भारत या माई भारत टेक्नोलॉजी की सहायता से संचालित एक अनुभव आधारित शिक्षा व्यवस्था है। ये युवाओं को नेतृत्व और कौशल विकास सहित कई क्षेत्र में उपलब्ध अवसरों के साथ जोड़ती है। हमारे देश में स्टार्टअप की प्रभावशाली सफलता का प्रमुख श्रेय हमारे युवा उद्यमियों को जाता है। युवा पीढ़ी की आकांक्षाओं पर केंद्रित नीतियों और कार्यक्रम के बल पर देश के विकास को गति मिलेगी। मुझे विश्वास है कि वर्ष 2047 तक विकसित भारत के निर्माण में युवा शक्ति की प्रमुख भूमिका रहेगी। प्यारे देशवासियों, भारत विश्व की सबसे तेज गति से बढ़ने वाली बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था है। विश्व पटल पर अनिश्चितता के बावजूद भारत में निरंतर आर्थिक विकास हो रहा है। हम निकट भविष्य में विश्व की तीसरी सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बनने के लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करने के दिशा में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। विश्व स्तरीय इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के निर्माण में निवेश करके हम अपने आर्थिक संरचना का उच्च स्तर पर पुनर्निर्माण कर रहे हैं। आर्थिक नियति के निर्माण की यात्रा में आत्मनिर्भरता और स्वदेशी हमारे मूल मंत्र हैं। स्वाधीनता के बाद देश के आर्थिक एकीकरण के लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय जीएसटी को लागू करने से वन नेशन वन मार्केट की व्यवस्था स्थापित हुई है। जीएसटी व्यवस्था को और अधिक प्रभावी बनाने के हाल ही के निर्णय से हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था को और अधिक शक्ति मिलेगी। श्रम सुधार के क्षेत्र में 4 लेबर कोड्स जारी किए गए हैं। इससे हमारे श्रमिक भाई बहन लाभान्वित होंगे तथा उद्यमों के विकास को भी गति मिलेगी। प्यारे देशवासियों, प्राचीन काल से ही पूरी मानवता हमारी सभ्यता, संस्कृति तथा आध्यात्मिक परंपरा से लाभान्वित होती रही है। आयुर्वेद, योग तथा प्राणायाम को विश्व समुदाय ने सराहा है, अपनाया है। अनेक महान विभूतियों ने हमारे आध्यात्मिक एवं सामाजिक एकता की धारा को अविरल प्रवाह दिया है। केरल में जन्मे महान कवि, समाज सुधारक और आध्यात्मिक विभूति श्री नारायण गुरु के अनुसार उस स्थान को आदर्श माना जाता है जहां जाति और पंथ के भेदभाव से मुक्त होकर सभी लोग बंधुत्व के साथ रहते हैं। मैं श्री नारायण गुरु के इस विचार को उनकी भाषा में दोहराने का प्रयास करती हूँ। जाति भेदम मोतो देशम एदुम इल्ला देशर्वरुम सौद रत्तेन्न बाडुन्न मातृ का स्थानो मानित। ये गर्व की बात है कि आज का भारत नए आत्मविश्वास के साथ अपने गौरवशाली परंपराओं के प्रति सचेत होकर आगे बढ़ रहा है। हाल के वर्षों में हमारी आध्यात्मिक परंपरा के पवित्र स्थलों को जन चेतना के साथ जोड़ा गया है। नियत अवधि में गुलामी की मानसिकता के अवशोष से मुक्त होने का समयबद्ध संकल्प किया गया है। भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा में दर्शन, चिकित्सा, खगोल विज्ञान, गणित, साहित्य तथा कला की महान विरासत उपलब्ध है। ये गर्व की बात है कि ज्ञान भारतम मिशन जैसे प्रयासों से भारतीय परंपरा में उपलब्ध रचनात्मकता को संरक्षित और प्रसारित किया जा रहा है। ये मिशन भारत की लाखों अमूल्य पांडुलिपियों में संचित विरासत को आधुनिक संदर्भ में आगे बढ़ाएगा। भारतीय भाषाओं तथा भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा को प्राथमिकता देकर हम आत्मनिर्भरता के प्रयासों को सांस्कृतिक आधार प्रदान कर रहे हैं। भारत का संविधान अब 8वीं अनुसूची में शामिल सभी भारतीय भाषाओं में उपलब्ध है। संविधान को भारतीय भाषाओं में पढ़ने और समझने से देशवासियों में संवैधानिक राष्ट्रीयता का प्रसार होगा तथा आत्मगौरव की भावना मजबूत होगी। सरकार और जनसामान्य के बीच की दूरी को निरंतर कम किया जा रहा है। आपसी विश्वास पर आधारित सुशासन पर बल दिया जा रहा है। अनेक अनावश्यक नियमों को निरस्त किया गया है। कई कंप्लायंस को समाप्त किया गया है तथा जनता के हित में व्यवस्थाओं को सरल बनाया गया है। टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से लाभार्थियों को सुविधाओं के साथ सीधे जोड़ा जा रहा है। रोजमर्रा के जीवन को बेहतर बनाने के लक्ष्यों के साथ ईज ऑफ लिविंग को प्राथमिकता दी जा रही है। पिछले दशक के दौरान राष्ट्रीय लक्ष्यों को जनभागीदारी के माध्यम से प्राप्त करने का प्रयास किया गया है। महत्वपूर्ण राष्ट्रीय अभियानों को जन आंदोलन का रूप दिया गया है। गांव-गांव में, नगर-नगर में स्थानीय संस्थाओं को प्रगतिशील बदलाव का माध्यम बनाया गया है। विकसित भारत का निर्माण सभी देशवासियों की साझा जिम्मेदारी है। समाज में असीम शक्ति होते हैं। सरकार द्वारा किए जा रहे प्रयासों को समाज का सक्रिय समर्थन मिलने से क्रांतिकारी बदलाव आते हैं। उदाहरण के लिए हमारे देशवासियों ने डिजिटल पेमेंट व्यवस्था को बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर अपनाया है। आज विश्व के आधे से अधिक डिजिटल लेन देन भारत में होते हैं। छोटी से छोटी दुकान में सामान खरीदने से लेकर ऑटो रिक्शा का किराया देने तक डिजिटल भुगतान का उपयोग विश्व समुदाय के लिए प्रभावशाली उदाहरण बन गया है। मैं आशा करती हूँ कि इसी तरह अन्य राष्ट्रीय लक्ष्यों को प्राप्त करने में सभी देशवासी अपनी सक्रिय भागीदारी निभाएंगे। प्यारे देशवासियों, पिछले वर्ष हमारे देश ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के द्वारा आतंकवाद के ठिकानों पर सटीक प्रहार किया। आतंक के अनेक ठिकानों को ध्वस्त किया गया तथा बहुत से आतंकवादियों को उनके अंजाम तक पहुंचाया गया। सुरक्षा के क्षेत्र में हमारी आत्मनिर्भरता से ऑपरेशन सिंदूर की ऐतिहासिक सफलता को शक्ति मिली। सियाचिन बेस कैंप पहुंचकर मैंने बहादुर सैनिकों को अत्यंत विषम परिस्थितियों में भी देश की रक्षा के लिए पूरी तरह तत्पर और उत्साहित देखा। भारतीय वायुसेना के लड़ाकू विमानों सुखोई और राफेल में उड़ान भरने का अवसर भी मुझे मिला। मैं वायुसेना के युद्ध कौशल से अवगत हुई। मैंने भारतीय नौसेना के स्वदेश में निर्मित विमान वाहक पथ INS विक्रांत की असाधारण क्षमताओं को देखा। मैं नौसेना की पनडुब्बी INS वाक्सीर में समुद्रों की गहराई तक गई। थल सेना, वायुसेना और नौसेना की शक्ति के आधार पर हमारी सुरक्षा क्षमता पर देशवासियों को पूरा भरोसा है। प्यारे देशवासियों, पर्यावरण संरक्षण आज की अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण प्राथमिकता है। मुझे इस बात पर गर्व होता है कि पर्यावरण से जुड़े अनेक क्षेत्रों में भारत ने विश्व समुदाय का मार्गदर्शन किया है। प्रकृति के साथ समन्वित जीवन शैली भारत की सांस्कृतिक परंपरा का हिस्सा रही है। यही जीवन शैली विश्व समुदाय को दिए गए हमारे संदेश लाइफस्टाइल फॉर एनवायरनमेंट यानी लाइफ का आधार है। हम ऐसे प्रयास करें जिनसे भावी पीढ़ियों के लिए धरती माता के अनमोल संसाधन उपलब्ध रह सके। हमारी परंपरा में समस्त सृष्टि में शांति के बने रहने की प्रार्थना की जाती रही है। पूरी विश्व में शांतिपूर्ण व्यवस्था स्थापित होने से ही मानवता का भविष्य सुरक्षित रह सकता है। विश्व के अनेक क्षेत्रों में व्याप्त अशांति के वातावरण में भारत द्वारा विश्व शांति का संदेश प्रसारित किया जा रहा है। प्यारे देशवासियों, ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि हम भारत भूमि के निवासी हैं। हमारी जननी जन्मभूमि के लिए कविगुरु रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर ने कहा था, ओ आमार देशेर माटी तोमार परे ठिकाई माथा, अर्थात हे मेरे देश की माटी, मैं तुम्हारे चरणों में अपना शीश झुकाता हूँ। मैं मानती हूँ कि गणतंत्र दिवस देशभक्ति की इस प्रबल भावना को और भी सुदृढ़ करने के संकल्प का अवसर है। आइए हम सब मिलकर राष्ट्र प्रथम की भावना से कार्य करते हुए अपने गणतंत्र को और भी गौरवशाली बनाएं। मैं एक बार फिर आप सभी को गणतंत्र दिवस की हार्दिक बधाई देती हूँ। मुझे दृढ़ विश्वास है कि आपका जीवन सुख, शांति, सुरक्षा और सौहार्द से परिपूर्ण रहेगा। मैं आप सभी के उज्जवल भविष्य की मंगल कामना करती हूँ। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत। My dear fellow citizens, Namaskar. We, the people of India, at home and overseas, are going to celebrate Republic Day with fervor. I extend my heartfelt greetings to all of you on this national festival. The auspicious occasion of Republic Day gives us an opportunity to reflect on the status and direction of our country in the past, present and future. The force of our freedom movement changed the status of our country on 15th August 1947. India became independent. We became the architect of our own national destiny. Since 26 January 1950, we have been propelling our republic towards our constitutional ideals. On that day, our constitution was fully enforced. Bharat, the birthplace of democracy, was unshackled from the dominion system, and our democratic republic came into existence. Our constitution is the foundational document of the largest republic in world history. The ideals of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity enshrined in our Constitution define our republic. The framers of the Constitution provided a strong bedrock for the spirit of nationalism and the unity of the country through constitutional provisions. Lauha Purush Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel unified our nation. Last year, on 31st October, a grateful nation enthusiastically celebrated his 115th birth anniversary. Commemorative events related to his 150th Jayanti are being celebrated. These celebrations strengthen the spirit of national unity and pride among the people. From north to south and from east to west, the fabric of our ancient cultural unity was woven by our ancestors. Every effort to promote this spirit of oneness is highly commendable. Since 7th November last year, celebrations marking 150 years of the composition of our national song Vande Mataram are also being organized. This song, which is a prayer to the divine form of Bharat Mata, instills patriotism in every Indian. The great nationalist poet Subramanya Bharati composed the song Vande Mataram Yenvam in the Tamil language, meaning let us chant Vande Mataram, and connected the masses on an even larger scale with the spirit of Vande Mataram. Translations of this song in other Indian language also became popular. Sri Aurobindo translated this song into English. Vande Mataram, composed by the Venerable Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, is our lyrical national prayer. 2 days ago, on 23rd January, the nation paid its respectful tributes to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose on his birth anniversary. Since 2021, Netaji's Jayanti is celebrated as Parakrama Divas, so that the people, especially the youth, can draw inspiration from his indomitable patriotism. Netaji's slogan, Jai Hind, is the declaration of our national pride. Dear fellow citizens, all of you are strengthening our vibrant republic. The valiant soldiers of our 3 armed forces are always vigilant in the defense of our motherland. Our dedicated personnel in the police and in the Central Armed Police Forces are continuously and diligently working for the internal security of the people. Our farmers toil hard to produce food for the people. The path-breaking and talented women of our country are setting new benchmarks in many fields. Our accomplished doctors, nurses, and all healthcare workers are dedicated to taking care of the health of the people. Our committed sanitation workers play a major role in maintaining cleanliness in our country. Our enlightened teachers are shaping future generations. Our world-class scientists and engineers are giving new direction to the country's development. Our industrious workers are rebuilding the nation with their talent and contributions. Our promising youth and children strengthen our faith in the great future of our country. Our talented artists, craftspersons, and writers are giving modern expression to our rich traditions. Experts from various fields are guiding the multifaceted development of the country. Our energetic entrepreneurs are contributing immensely towards making the country developed and self-reliant. Individuals and institutions serving society selflessly are illuminating the lives of countless people with their work. All the people working in the government and the non-government sectors discharging their duties sincerely and efficiently are contributing to nation building. People's representatives committed to public service are helping achieve welfare and development goals in line with popular aspirations. Thus, all enlightened and sensitive citizens are advancing the progress of our republic. I wholeheartedly appreciate all fellow citizens who are working to strengthen our republic. Overseas Indians bring glory to the image of our republic on the global stage. I convey my special appreciation to them. Dear fellow citizens, today, the 25th of January is celebrated as National Voters' Day in our country. Our adult citizens enthusiastically cast their votes to elect their representatives. Babasaheb Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar believed that the exercise of the right to vote leads to political education. Our voters, in line with Babasaheb's vision, are demonstrating their political awareness. The increasing participation on women in voting adds a powerful dimension to our republic. The active and empowered participation of women is extremely important for the development of the country. National efforts towards their health, education, safety, and economic empowerment have increased women's participation in many areas. The Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign has encouraged the education of girls. Under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, more than 57 crore bank accounts have been opened so far. Nearly 56% of these accounts belong to women. Our women are breaking traditional stereotypes and forging ahead. They are actively contributing to the overall development of the country. More than 10 crore women associated with self-help groups are redefining the process of development. Women are making their mark in every field, from agriculture to space, from self-employment to the armed forces. In the field of sports, our daughters have set new benchmarks globally. Last year, in November, the Daughters of India scripted a golden chapter in sporting history by winning the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup and subsequently the Blind Women's T20 World Cup. Last year, the final match of the Chess World Cup was played between two Indian women. These examples are testament to the dominance of India's daughters in the world of sports. The people of the country are proud of them. The number of women representatives in Panchayat Raj institutions is nearly 46%. The Nari Shakti Bandhan Adhiniyam, which seeks to take political empowerment of women to greater heights, will provide unprecedented strength to the idea of women-led development. The role of Nari Shakti will be crucial in the making of Viksit Bharat. With increasing contribution by women, our country will set an example of an inclusive republic based on gender equality. With an inclusive approach, many schemes are being implemented for the welfare and development of the underprivileged segments. Last year, on 15th November, the people of our country celebrated the 5th Janajatiya Gaurav Divas on the birth anniversary of Dharti Aba Bhagwan Birsa Munda, and that marks the culmination of the celebrations held to commemorate the 150th Jayanti of Bhagwan Birsa Munda. Through the Adi Karma Yogi campaign, the leadership potential of the people of the tribal community has been nurtured. In recent years, the government has taken many steps, including the construction of museums, to introduce the glorious history of the tribal community to the people of the country. Their welfare and development are given high priority under the National Sickle Cell Anemia Elimination Mission. More than 6 crore screenings have been conducted so far. Nearly 140,000 students are receiving education in Eklavya Model Residential Schools, and many students have performed exceptionally well in competitive examinations. Such campaigns in health and education are working to bring harmony between the traditions and modern development among the tribal communities. The Dharti Abba Janajatiya Grama Utkarsh Abhiyan and the PM Janaman Yojana have empowered all tribal communities, including PVTG communities. Our Annadata farmers are the backbone of our society and economy. Generations of hard-working farmers have made our country self-reliant in food grains. It is due to the hard work of our farmers that we are able to export agricultural products. Many farmers have presented highly impressive examples of success. Priority is being given to ensuring that our farmers receive fair prices for their produce, access to loans at lower interest rates, effective insurance coverage, good quality seeds, irrigation facilities, fertilizer for increased production, access to modern agricultural practices, and encouragement for organic farming. The PM Kisan Samman Nidhi is honoring the contribution of our farmers and strengthening their efforts. Millions of our people who have been struggling with poverty for decades have been lifted above the poverty line. Efforts are also being made to ensure that they do not fall back into the poverty trap. The world's largest scheme of its kind, embodying the spirit of Antyodaya, the PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, is based on the idea that no one should go hungry in our country of over 140 crore people. This scheme is providing succor to nearly 81 crore beneficiaries by constructing more than 4 crore Poka houses equipped with electricity, water, and toilet facilities for poor families. They have been provided with a foundation for living a dignified life and making further progress. Such efforts for the welfare of the poor give concrete shape to Mahatma Gandhi's ideal of Sarvodaya. Our country has the world's largest young population. What gives us special pride is that our youth possess immense talent. Our young entrepreneurs, sports persons, scientists, and professionals are infusing new energy into the country and making their mark on the global stage. Today, a large number of our young people are presenting impressive instances of success through self-employment. Our youth are the flag bearers of our nation's development journey. Mera Yuva Bharat or My Bharat provides a technology-driven experiential learning mechanism to connect young citizens with opportunities in several areas, including leadership and skill development. The impressive success demonstrated by startups in our country is mainly driven by our young entrepreneurs. The country's development will gain momentum through policies and programs focused on the aspiration of the younger generation. I am confident that the power of youth will play a leading role in the making of Viksit Bharat by 2047. Dear fellow citizens, India is the world's fastest growing major economy. Despite global uncertainties, India is recording continuous economic growth. We are moving towards achieving our goals of becoming the world's third largest economy in the near future. By investing in the creation of world-class infrastructure, we are rebuilding our economic strength at a much larger scale. In this journey of shaping our economic destiny, Atmanirbharata and Swadeshi are our guiding principles. The most important decision for the economic integration of the country after independence, the implementation of GST, has established the system of one nation, one market. The recent decisions to make the GST system even more effective will further strengthen our economy. 4 labor codes have been issued in the field of labor reforms. These will benefit our workers and will also accelerate the development of enterprises. Dear fellow citizens, since ancient times, humanity has benefited from our civilization, culture, and spiritual traditions. Ayurveda, yoga, and pranayama have been appreciated and adopted by the global community. Many great personalities have continuously enriched the stream of our spiritual and social unity. Sri Narayana Guru, the great poet, social reformer, and spiritual icon born in Kerala, had said that an ideal place is one where all people live with the spirit of fraternity, free from discrimination based on caste and creed. I will try to express this thought of Sri Narayana Guru in his own words. Jati Vedam Moto Desam Edum illa Desorbarum Sod Rattenno Badunno Matruka Sthano Manito. It is a matter of pride that today's India is moving forward with new self-confidence, conscious of its glorious tradition. In recent years, sacred sites related to our spiritual tradition have been reconnected with the people's consciousness. It has been resolved to eradicate the vestiges of colonial mindset in a time-bound manner. The tradition of Indian knowledge has a great legacy in the field of philosophy, medicine, astronomy, mathematics, literature, and art. It is a matter of pride that efforts like the Gyan Bharatam mission are preserving and disseminating the creativity available in the Indian tradition. This mission will carry forward the heritage accumulated in lakhs of invaluable manuscripts of India in modern context. By giving emphasis to Indian languages and the tradition of Indian knowledge, we are providing a cultural foundation to our pursuit of self-reliance. The Constitution of India is now available in all the Indian languages, included in the 8th schedule. Reading and understanding the Constitution in Indian languages will spread constitutional nationalism among the people and strengthen their sense of pride. The gap between the government and the general public is being continuously reduced. Emphasis is being placed on good governance based on mutual trust. Many unnecessary rules have been repealed, several compliance requirements have been eliminated, and systems have been simplified to help the people. Beneficiaries are being directly connected to facilities through technology. Ease of living is being emphasized with the goal of improving everyday life. Efforts have been made to achieve national goals through public participation over the past decade. Important national campaigns have been transformed into mass movements. Local institutions in every village and city have been made instruments of ushering in progressive change. Building Viksit Bharat is the shared responsibility of all citizens. Society has immense power. Revolutionary changes occur when the efforts made by the government receive active support from society. For example, Our people have adopted the digital payment system on a massive scale. Today, more than half of the world's digital transactions take place in India. From buying goods at the smallest shop to paying for an auto rickshaw ride, the use of digital payments has become an impressive example for the global community. I hope that all citizens will actively participate in achieving other national goals in a similar manner. Dear fellow citizens, last year our country launched precision strikes against terror infrastructure through Operation Sindoor. Terror centers were destroyed and many terrorists met their end. Our self-reliance in the field of defense powered the historic success of Operation Sindoor. At the Siachen base camp, I saw our brave soldiers fully prepared and motivated to defend the country even amidst extremely challenging conditions. I also had the opportunity to fly in the Sukhoi and Rafale fighter planes of the Indian Air Force. I saw the combat readiness of the Air Force. I witnessed the extraordinary capabilities of the Indian Navy's indigenously built aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. I also studied in the submarine INS Bagsir based on the strength of the Army, Air Force and Navy. People have complete trust in our defense preparedness. My dear fellow citizens, protection of the environment is a high priority today. I am proud that India has steered the global community in many areas related to the environment. A lifestyle in harmony with nature has been a part of India's cultural tradition. This lifestyle is the basis of our message to the global community. Lifestyle for environment or life. Let us make efforts to ensure that Mother Earth's precious resources remain available for future generations. In our tradition, we have been offering prayers for peace to prevail in the entire universe. The future of humanity can remain secure only if there is peace in the whole world. In an atmosphere marked by conflict in many parts of the world, India is spreading the message of world peace. Dear fellow citizens, it is our great fortune to be living in Bharat Bhumi. Regarding our Matrubhumi, Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore has said, "O amar desher mati, tomar pore thekai matha." It means, "O sacred soil of my country, I bow my head at your feet." I believe that Republic Day is an opportunity to further strengthen this strong feeling of patriotism. Let us all work together with the spirit of nation first and make our republic even more glorious. Once again, I extend my hearty greetings to all of you on Republic Day. I firmly believe that your life will be filled with happiness, peace, security and harmony. I wish you all a very bright future. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Right, you were listening to the President's address to the nation on the eve of Republic Day. If you're just joining us, let me quickly give you a recap. She made 8 or 10 broad points. She covered virtually the entire spectrum, the entire gamut of issues facing the government and people. She began by invoking that last year the nation celebrated the 150th year of the national song Vande Mataram. She remembered the sacrifices of freedom fighters, especially Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's 150th birth anniversary, as well as the contributions made by Subhash Chandra Bose. She then went on to talk about virtually every cross-section of society, be it the soldier, farmer, women, healthcare workers, sanitation workers, teachers, scientists, blue-collar workers, youths, and artists as well. She made a special mention of the Indian diaspora, the overseas Indians living abroad, and she saluted and commended them for their contributions on the world stage. She then went on to speak about women-led development, the priorities of the government, including catering to all sections of society, including tribals. And then, of course, she went on to say that India remains on course to become the third largest economy in the world. She narrated the economic policies of the government and highlighted certain campaigns or programs, including self-reliance, vocal for local, and GST in particular, the goods and services tax reform she highlighted in her speech. And she went on to talk about labor reforms as well. In her speech, she invoked Kerala social reformer Sri Narayana Guru and also Tamil Nadu Tamil social reformer Subramanya Bharati. She then went on to say that in terms of governance issues, the gap between the government and the people has been reducing consistently and regularly. She spoke about how the government's focus remains on ease of living and the focus is primarily on public participation and mass movement, turning it into a participatory democracy. She went on to then speak about innovation and technology and spoke about how digital payments have become commonplace in India today. And then she went on to remember what happened last year between India and Pakistan. She invoked the Operation Sindoor and she spoke about India's defense preparedness. And she concluded her speech by talking about India's contributions to environment. And on foreign policy, she said that India stands for peace in the world riven by conflicts. So that in a gist was the President's address for you. Right, joining us is our guest, Mr. Shekhar Iyer, is a senior journalist. Mr. Iyer, welcome to this broadcast. Now, before we delve into the specifics, why don't you give us an overview of sorts and tell us what you made of the President's address?
Thank you, Rabeshji. In fact, you beautifully summed up how the President, on the occasion of the 77th Republic Day, took us through all that has happened in the last few years and the path that India is headed towards becoming a Viksit Bharat, and how governance has become the touchstone of all the initiatives to involve all sections of the society. And this year is a very special year because we are celebrating the 150th birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, as well as 150 years of Vande Mataram, which is one that whenever you hear it, it doesn't matter how many times you hear it, fills you with that sense of patriotism and reminds you of all the sacrifices that went into making this great nation. And in particular, the President spoke about how the government is working towards empowerment of women, of the weaker sections, tribals, Dalits, and how every scheme is being implemented in a spirit to ensure that people are actually given that opportunity, are given that hand-holding so that they can lift themselves up, and the manner in which the India has progressed in various fields, be it science and technology, space, sports, and as well as the way we have strengthened our defenses. In particular, she recalled her own travel in the latest aircraft, in submarine, in our aircraft carrier, to tell us that today India is very strong, is developing fast, and is working towards welfare of one and all, not just within the country, but even the entire world.
Mr. Iyer, listening to her over the last several minutes, did you get a sense of the policy priorities of her government? Could you spell out some broad points for the benefit of our viewers in terms of policy priorities?
Well, the driving engine, if I were to say, is good governance. That every policy decisions, every initiative is to ensure that the resources of the government are spent towards that particular objective. And towards this, the government has gone about, bringing in new schemes, new plans, and in particular to ensure that the weakest sections, particularly the Dalit and the tribal communities, our Adivasis, and the regions which were neglected in the past have been given focus and they are being developed. So therefore, as she put it, she recalled some of the missions, whether it is Gyan Bharatam mission, whether it's the Jan Dhan Yojana, which has eventually now metamorphosed into our digital system of payment. Now everyone has a bank account, everyone does transaction, and also the way one nation, one market, how the GST has been further simplified, how there is economic integration that has taken place, which has boosted our economy. And then she has also spoken about how we are investing in creation of world-class infrastructure. And at the same time, in this journey, as she put it, shaping our economic destiny, Atmanirbharta, that is self-reliance, and Swadeshi are guiding principles.
Indeed. You touched upon the economy, Mr. Iyer. In that context, why don't you also, delve a bit, if you will, on the salient features in her speech when it comes to the economy. She spoke about economic policies in terms of, as you mentioned, self-reliance and vocal for local and GST reform. You think, by all accounts, India remains on course to become the third largest economy, that its fundamentals remain as strong as ever in spite of the global flux and churn that we see around us?
In fact, India appears to be an island of hope in terms of economic growth. Because when you see what the countries are reeling under, whether it is a new tariff system or whether it is lack of initiatives, you can see, all over the globe there are huge areas where there is a lot of economic tension. But here we find that no matter the challenges that are being posed by these developments globally, we are somehow filled with a lot of hope and confidence that we will weather them. And that is largely because our country has the world's largest young population. And in particular, the President mentioned that, what gives us special pride is that our youth possess immense talent. And that talent has seen our young entrepreneurs, our scientists and professionals have brought new energy into the country and to the system, and they are making a mark on the global stage. And in particular, she referred to how more and more young people are looking at jobs in terms of, for some kind of a source of income. Rather, they are going in for self-employment. And that's a big change that is happening, where, schemes like Mera Yuva Bharat, which is providing technology-driven learning mechanism to connect young citizens with opportunities. And also all this, Skill India, Startup India, we are seeing how unicorns are coming up. And India remains a fast-growing economy. I mean, there is no doubt about it. And no matter what the doomsdayers have been saying about our economy, but there is a sense of confidence within the country. That's a very important thing, because this is only possible because of the various initiatives that the government has undertaken. And in a week from now, you are going to see the new budget, which we all expected to bring in more reforms. As PM keeps on saying, we have to reform, we have to transform, and we have to perform.
Indeed. Which brings me to another facet or dimension of a speech, and that is to do with her invocation, Mr. Iyer, of social reformers of your from Kerala, Sri Narayana Guru, and from Tamil Nadu, Subramanya Bharati. What should one read into her invocation of these two personalities and the message contained in their, the life and legacy insofar as government and people are concerned?
Well, we all know how Sri Narayana Guru came at a time when the society was driven by caste atrocities. It was driven by caste divide. And Narayana Guru came as a spiritual reformer whose spiritual message led to a great social reform. And therefore, she even recalled his words that the oneness of it all, a point that even Subramanya Bharati mentioned, there is only one caste, there is just one clan, that is the mankind, humankind. And she said how Sri Narayana Guru pointed to us, if you are looking for an ideal world, if you are looking for an ideal place, it's a place where all people are able to live with the spirit of fraternity and free from discrimination. This is very important, and free from hate. That's a big message that Sri Narayana Guru gave, because we have seen that India has undergone these social transformations, shedding the past baggage of hatred by the sheer spirit of, I would say, the message is given by such spiritual masters like Sri Narayana Guru.
Indeed. And if I may quickly add, a point here at the risk of digressing from the issue at hand, talking about Kerala, Mr. Iyer, we saw that in the list of Padma awardees released a short while ago, there are at least 7 personalities from the state of Kerala, and including the SNDP chief, Vellapalli Nateshan. So what should one read into the invocation of, on one hand, Sri Narayana Guru, and the awards given to personalities from Kerala, such as Vellapalli Nateshan? So your take on the thought behind it all?
Well, we all know SNDP is one of the largest social organizations, Sri Narayana Dharma Paripalan,
right,
which has been has been running several institutions, educational institutions in particular, to uplift particularly the backward class community. And it has also been fostering intra-community unity by way of organizing conferences, youth conferences, festivals, and it has also been running a number of welfare programs. And in fact, SNDP has been, I would say, a voice of the deprived, the voice of the people who have, with a lot of positive energy and positive, I would say, contribution for integration in the society.
Right. Which brings me to some of the other points that she mentioned in her speech. If I can talk about defense and security a bit, if you will, Mr. Iyer, she invoked India's Operation Sindhu. She spoke about defense preparedness. She spoke about self-reliance and relying on indigenous technologies going forward. Your thoughts on the import of her invocation of India's defense and security policies as well?
Well, the President recounted how she has seen for herself the combat readiness of our armed forces. She has been to the forward bases. She has been to Siachen and to several other places. She has sat in our latest fighter aircraft, Rafale. She has, traveled on our refurbished and, our ships, our submarine.
Right.
So you can see that, when she's speaking here, she is speaking with that confidence that she saw for herself, when she saw how our soldiers who are out, who are guarding us, who are protecting us, and who are sacrificing everything for the sake of this nation.
Indeed. And in that context, if I can quickly also seek your views, Mr. Iyer, on foreign policy. She spoke about how India stands for peace in the world, riven by conflicts, and that India will make all efforts towards that. And you found that interesting as well?
Well, it is, and our Prime Minister in particular, Narendra Modi ji, has been making it very clear that the war is no solution to any conflicts, whether they are long-term or ones which have recently developed. And in particular, he has been making it a point in all his bilateral and multilateral interactions with world leaders. And towards this end, India has also expressed its willingness to play any role to resolve differences between countries, because conflict in any part of the world affects every country, every nation, no matter how far the conflict is from its borders.
And also, Mr. Iyer, when the president referred to the four constituents or beneficiaries, call it what you will, in terms of women, youth, farmer, she also made a special mention of the diaspora. And Prime Minister Modi is one person who invests a lot of time into establishing a rapport with the Indians overseas, the diaspora in particular, and he makes it a point to meet them, interact with them on almost every foreign visit of his. And the President, in her speech, specially thanked them for doing what they do on the world stage and refurbishing and burnishing India's image on the world stage. You found that of special significance? Did that stand out for you as well?
Definitely, whether it is the Independence Day or the Republic Day, our diaspora, they have been joining us in the celebration and feel very connected to India, to India's ethos and Indian people. And in the last decade, we have seen a number of them who are entrepreneurs, who are business leaders themselves, have been showing a lot of interest in making investment in India, and their contribution has been welcomed by this government, has been encouraged by this government, so that they are also, great participants in India's emergence as a Viksit Bharat by 2047.
Indeed, and if I may quickly ask you, by association, since we're talking about Republic Day, the two EU leaders, the EU Council President and the European Commission President are in town. They'll be the chief guests as Republic Day tomorrow. Your thoughts on, one, the progress being made on the front of the FTA with EU and its significance, given that India is negotiating similar treaties or pacts with other countries which are still work in progress. You think this is a good time for India to go in and seal the deal, as it were? Well,
the very fact that the two leaders have arrived and a lot of homework has been done, and just as we had a very, very fruitful India-UK trade agreement, we're going to see the signing of a major deal which is going to improve the trade between India and the European Union. Some of the European leaders are already looking forward to the kind of trade cooperation, to the business cooperation between India with its inherent strength. And this deal is going to see a lot of boost for Indian manufacturing as well as for European economy.
Indeed, and to wrap it up, Mr. Iyer, your one last thoughts on the sum and substance, the import or the thrust of a speech, as it were, for the benefit of viewers who might be joining us right now.
Well, the President's message to all of us is this, that we are, cruising ahead in this path of development and progress, and the whole effort is to see nobody is left behind. Every section is being catered to, needs of every section is being attended to, and whatever that no longer holds good are being dropped, whether they are obsolete laws or obsolete ways of doing things. And every moment we are, moving ahead, surging ahead, and the country is standing together, and all the Indians, each one of us, have a big contribution to make. Let's join hands together and celebrate the 77th Republic Day in a spirit of accommodation, confidence, and the confidence not in ourselves, but in each individual need to feel that he belongs to this great nation, which is moving forward.
Indeed, on that rather befitting and inspiring note, Mr. Iyer, thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts and your perspectives with our viewers at home and abroad. Thank you for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
And with that, it's a wrap on this special broadcast. But news continues here on DD India. You can catch all the latest updates on our social media, mobile and digital platforms. Thanks for watching. Bye.